Hello, I'm ABX and welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk about something a lot of people have been asking because they've seen me somewhere near the top of the glide leaderboards over the past few days, and that is Toycat. How do you get the world record for the brand new glide maps, or just indeed any glide map in general? Because it is a tricky minigame to pilot the Elytra just perfectly, and when you see, runs like this, you might be curious as to how you do it. What you're even trying to do? Is it just like, going over and over and over again until something happens? And honestly, there is a little bit of it, but there's actually a lot of kind of skillful use of the Elytra you have to learn, and I figured why not give a guide on how to get a world record for any map, but in particular this map too, in today's video. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. Let's get straight into talking about exactly how you can fly the Elytra faster, because there's two basic ways you can fly the Elytra faster, right? One is just to increase your speed in general, and that might seem like a really obvious thing, like, oh, go faster, wish I'd thought of that so I can. But honestly, there's a lot of speed management technique that, is tricky and counterintuitive to learn, but once you do get it, you'll go a little bit faster, and you'll also be able to do the thing in just a little bit less time. So the other thing you can do to increase your time on any map, regardless of shortcuts and stuff like that, is you can actually improve the way you're flying every part of the course to decrease the amount of actual course you're going through. So think about the route you fly. If you fly the long way around a circle instead of the short way, you spend a lot more time, right? But this also applies to if you cut a corner only barely versus if you cut a corner very well. And that sounds very confusing, but let me show you at 50% speed that run now. So again, bear in mind that is the world record as of recording. Let me show you this run at 50% speed like I've done before, and let's show you some of the micro decisions that seem really, you might not notice them as they go by full speed, but you can see how they really affect it here, because I'm going just below and just next to every single wall I can. And the reason for this is it means I can take the tightest path possible. If I was swerving all the way around here instead of just missing that cave on the right, it would take a longer route, and therefore it would take that little bit longer, and these tiny decisions you make over every run adds up. And that's why I think this map is the best one to learn how to play glide better, because the map itself does have some shortcuts. It does have a route you have to learn, and you'll see that as we go through, but it also has, way more importantly, just the kind of it's mostly about technique, because the best route, it's like on Cavern, you can know the best route very easily, but then performing it perfectly and taking off those split seconds every time is really important. So stuff like, as you can see right here, this isn't perfectly done, but the way I'd subtly take that corner but still really quickly get going in this direction, so it's this sort of stuff that's really important, and it's something you want to do. Also, you'll notice there the course wants you to go right then left, but by taking that route I could just go up and above all of the turns. There's really subtle stuff like that that can improve your stuff. Also, when you have to go down and you're going to hit max speed anyway, you might as well go for max speed and lose all your height just before it, like you saw me do there. Stay as close to the ground if you know you can get a boost up, like you're going to see right here. Then now you can use the boost up and do this. Another tip that you might see is press, by really quickly tapping down and going as far down as you can actually avoid death at certain holes, and this means you can get more speed in general before them. Again, it doesn't come up too much, but it is something worth keeping in mind. And then here's another kind of, I want to call it skillful maneuver, where I try and stay close to both walls to take a diagonal route through, rather than having to curve left and right, because bear in mind, not only is curving left and right a slower route, taking a curved route versus a straight line is always slower, but also when you curve, you lose a little bit of speed, so the less curving you do, and the more gently you curve, the way you kind of fit around the corners, means the faster you can go in general. So we're at just under a minute here as we go to the last section. Here's already another important lesson. The speed thing means that if you have enough speed and height anyway, never try to awkwardly slow down to go through one of those yellow rings, because even though there was one above and to the left of me there, I didn't need to go through them, so I just went down, and that is something that saved me the last second to get the world record in this map in particular, because most people don't assume that it's faster not to go through a speed boost, but in a lot of cases, if you have the speed anyway, there's no point to go through one. Like this one up there, you see there's a speed boost just above the Yeti's mouth. I don't need to go for it because it would slow me down to get to it, and I can hit max speed anyway because we've got this giant fall. I'm at 42 meters a second. Would that speed boost have helped? No, and in fact, again, one of the things that can help you get a time like 1:14 on Yeti, or whatever time you're looking for on another map. So one more time at full speed, just in case you want to see that and use these lessons all at once. As you can see, just going straight forwards, staying as close to this mountain as I can, trying to avoid the left-right pattern the map kind of guides you into, to just take the shortest route there. Again, always focus on the shortest route, because there's two things in glide once you've mastered the perfect, route, because again, there's multiple routes every map, but the perfect route is one that's easily found, I think, or at least you can watch the video, easy find it there. But once you've found the perfect route, it's all about making these tiny decisions of oh yeah, so let's make sure we go up and above there. And when you really pay attention to everything I'm doing in this run, it really is focused on one of those two things, either taking a shorter distance or getting that distance done in a short amount of time. So for instance, on the left here, you're going to see that there's a little speed boost that usually you wouldn't want to go to because it's a little bit out of your way, but in this particular case, we did go for it, and it just about pays off in my my opinion. And, you know, again, as you're seeing everything else we do in this run, it's just all dedicated to doing that. And doing this at high speed is tricky. It's going to take a lot of falls. I'd recommend playing solo, because when you're in solo, you can press B and you can restart over and over to really try and master these particularly tricky sections. But if you can then, like, you know, perfect each section, you know the route in it, you know how to do that route just perfectly to, like, again, take the perfect route at the perfect speed. Again, if you're going above 30 meters a second at all times, you're doing pretty good for yourself. You know, any section you're not going at 30 meters a second, ask yourself why you're not. And yeah, basically that is how I got the world record in glide, and that's how you can do it for any map. Or at the very least, you can beat your friends, because most people are focused on the route more than they're focused on, like, how to cut down those last few seconds. And those last few seconds are what matters to get, again, if you look at the difference between me and, like, you know, the top 10 people, there is like 10 seconds in the last few, but between 2 and 3, it's such a tiny amount because it's all about those tiny differences. So I hope you did all enjoy this video. I hope you learned something about the glide minigame from it. You can like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like these world record videos. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. In case you're curious, there is still going to be some survival update in the future. I've got a whole video planned on that, so make sure you check that out at some point soon. I'm going to, like, put together everything we know about the next update. But for now, T52 was fun. Here is one more world record, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!